I'm gonna mine all over the place.
Insanity.
Insane.
Batman. You know,
Batman.
traditional.
It was me. It was me who mined and crafted Batman.
True. It was really him.
It was always me. I was there every time.
Got a lapani here.
Every time you saw a random ladder, every
It was
time
me.
you saw the tree that hasn't been chopped down properly,
It
every
was
time
me,
you saw a
Batman.
creeper hole that wasn't filled, it was me.
It was me, Barry. It was me. I fucked that little put.
You fucked the lapani.
Remember when you went back in time to go and save your dog from getting killed? That was me, Barry. It was all me.
Slipped.
Nah, you wrong for that
No.
one. You're
I
wrong for that one.
fucked your dog.
Barry. What?
What?
Barry. Do you know when Brian got ran over in Family Guy? You know
It was me, Barry. It was me, Barry.
it was me, Barry. I drove the car.
Oh my
That's
god.
crazy.
Remember who killed Doggy Style? That was me, Barry. It was all me. I was there.
No
It was
way.
all
It was
me.
reverse flash this whole time.
It was all everything bad is because of Reverse Flash.
Yeah.
Would even be
I mean, isn't that
surprised.
the entire joke?
He was just really salty.
Pico.
Yes.
Pico.
Yes.
Remember when you dated that lesbian for 3 years?
Oh god.
Oh no!
It was me! I was the lesbian!
I was the
It
one
was
who gave her
very-
second thoughts.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that makes so much sense now.
Easy.
It was him.
It was,
I fucked him.
yeah, man.
Yeah, man. How'd that vibrator go?
Was that all part of his plan?
Wow.
Yes, it was all
It was
part
to
of
fuck
the
with
plan.
Barry. You're actually
All
Barry's
part of the plan.
grandfather.
I feel so weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Should be something of a man.
Is
So
this like
it's the
forever
worst
time
fate,
loop?
really. It's the worst fate
Yeah,
imaginable.
man. That's how I feel every single time. That's crazy.
Bro, I'm here in the Underdark, just doing shit and just stealing. Oh, I got a music disc.
I'm here in the
Yeah.
I'm here in the cave. I'm dwarf for real, man. I'm over here.
And the Underdark, is that the new like structures underground?
No, I'm just saying that because it's dark. Oh, you
I like
bitch.
that.
I like that. I like
Astrap, why
that.
the fuck did you TP me?
They come.
Check it out.
That doesn't. You could have warned me,
Oh, my bad. So you're gonna join the Dragon Kingdom, right?
bro. Bro, I'm trying to go way the fuck underground to avoid people and find diamonds.
Hold on.
Yo.
Hold on.
I need to find the hole again,
So
bro.
So, Boys, where are you? Where are you?
Bro,
need
just
a
dig
waste
down
stone.
anywhere, to be honest.
I need a
So,
waystone.
so, come here. So you're gonna join the Dragon Empire, right?
I need a
You're
waste.
Ball Hayes,
Don't
Ball
let
Hayes.
him manipulate you. Don't let him manipulate you.
Hey, Ball
You're
Hayes,
gonna-
you wanna?
I am literally unmanipulatable.
Ah, yeah,
Hayes,
you,
you wanna-
yeah. Okay, if you say so.
Ball Hayes, join the cave
Okay, take this
dwellers. Be a
Take that,
dwarf.
I'm gonna go ahead and put the music.
It's called
Cave
the,
Dweller? I might have
uh,
to pull up to that one.
Is that Andre?
Come on, Logan.
It is
Be a
me.
dwarf with
Good
me.
evening.
You said you wanted to be part of the series, right?
What?
Andre, you said you wanted to be part of the boxing series, right?
Of course, I said that yesterday.
Wait, boxing series?
Oh, Pico.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be able to make it to the untitled boxing match. The
Really?
tournament.
Oh, wait, let
Yeah,
me
I
in.
got
Let me
that.
in.
Let him in. I got that
Yeah.
sleepover, man.
Have you played on Todder Boxing game?
He
Me?
has.
Have I
I
played it?
introduced him to
Why don't you tell him, William?
I introduced him to it. He's actually a boxer in real life.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I practice boxing. I practice
How much do
boxing.
how much do you weigh?
I weigh 190 pounds right now, but back when I was like in the gym, COVID happened. Back when I was like in the gym, I weigh like 170. About
you're
170
well more
pounds.
than me.
Hold on.
What's
If
your
you're a
weight?
boxer.
Wait,
hold on.
pounds or fucking?
Pounds.
Wait
pounds.
a minute. Hold on,
Okay. I don't know what that is in kilograms.
It's a martial arts to another.
Kilograms. I think that's around 87.
Oh, you're still heavier than me. You're still heavier.
I'm like a
six.
welterweight, I
I'm
think.
interested. I'm interested. What you about to say?
I had one
on.
sparring
Wait a
partner
minute.
that I fought full contact. I also fought a bunch of
got a
martial arts full
question.
contact.
I love
Ass
full
trap,
contact.
wave 3.
What's your question? I love
Ass
talking about
trap.
Uh,
Ass
it's a-
trap.
It's
What?
a martial arts. to
Ass
another.
trap. Wave
Oh,
3.
Honestly.
Man, can I speak?
this. Damn!
God
Let
damn.
him speak!
I'm being attacked.
Are you
Go
stupid?
ahead.
Guys!
Motherfucker. Alright. Are you a light, medium, or heavyweight?
I'm closer to a
Which one?
heavyweight
Ninth.
than anything
So it's
else. Yeah.
Okay, so you're like.
I'm a white belt.
Okay.
So he's
You're not
probably like
bad.
me, like
Yeah, he's like.
I'm a pretty big guy. I'm a pretty big guy. I'm only 5'9".
I'm a lightweight.
though.
You're a pretty big guy in muscle. Is what you mean?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm very strong. Yeah, I'm very strong.
You're like light heavyweight.
Yeah. Well, I'm like I think it's called welterweight or something.
What's that?
I
Walter.
yeah.
Tank.
Walter.
There's a fucking tank.
I haven't been in the
Yes.
boxing gym well actually I was in one actually this year, but
Tanks
I-
are easy.
I was
I'm considered as a tank for a midweight. I don't know why, but it's okay.
I was an inboxer, so I'd move my head a lot. I'd try to get in, and then I'd do combos once I'm in, you know.
I'm both out and in. I specifically like being in more because I like getting in the opponent when they're not guarding, so I
Yeah.
can get a good chin lock in.
I like to just, I mean, I'm in, combo out, you know. So I'm a little bit of a
Yeah,
boxer.
yeah.
I'm a little bit of a boxer puncher, but I'm mostly an infighter. I describe myself. But
course, yeah.
I was taught like a boxer puncher because they wanted me to know the basics, obviously for good reason. But then I ended up just becoming an inboxer because I watched the Jimmy No Ipo and wanted to move my head like that. So I actually did, and I figured out how to make it work, and then that's what I did. I don't know if I have the lungs for it right now because I'm not active, but
Yeah, you gotta
yeah.
start doing them fucking.
I do run whenever I'm like, whenever I
Alright.
feel fat, I just run. But I run until you know when you run a lot, and this is gonna sound fucking like I'm lying, but you know when you run a lot and blood starts coming up. So I just do that whenever I run, and I get but it's like it doesn't hurt. It's just like that's just kind of what happens when you run a lot. But yeah.
That is
So
true.
and I don't do it consistently, sadly, right now, for a lot of reasons. I'm working and all that stuff, but I wish I had the money to pay to go to the gym right now, but I just don't. Or I
You
have the
don't
money,
need to.
but
You can just work out for yourself.
I do. Well,
Okay,
that I
good,
do. I
good.
work. I have a punching bag, and I also practice. You know, I try to practice all the basics as much as I can. I shadow box a lot. It's actually I do it in public. It's actually embarrassing, but I shadow box whenever I have a spare moment because I miss it a lot. I miss sparring. I know what it's like to fight full contact. But I miss that a lot. I had the sparring partner Nikolai. He was really, really talented. I'm not too talented, but I practice like a fuck ton, and I'm obsessed. So I was able to keep up with him.
When did you stop boxing? Last year?
I want to say it was probably last year. Yeah, probably last year or 2 years ago. But I started again in a boxing gym. But I didn't think it was smart to keep spending my money. Like it was $10 a day per class. It was like
Right.
I don't have that kind of income to be doing that at my mom's house. If I was doing that, I'd need to be like on my own, you know.
Yeah.
I need to move out first. Sadly, I wish I knew how to get to a tournament, but I was never like shown the path there. But I like I said, I fought full contact. I kind of know what it's about, and I do know that I actually do genuinely love it, you know. So
It's
yeah.
good, man. Damn.
What do you
That's
do? You
you,
do any?
dude.
What do you do fighting?
Me, I'm a mixed martial artist.
Yeah.
I used to do underground, like, shit. It's a long story. I don't even want to talk about that now, but like, I do taekwondo, Muay Thai, and boxing.
I knew a guy. My first teacher was an underground fighter. His name was Johnny, and he taught me the basics of like how to punch, how to stand, how to move, with your legs mostly. He didn't teach head movement really. I just think it wasn't his thing, because he was so big that I don't think he really. If it sounds proper, he didn't really have to move his head. He just moved his leg to get out of the way, kind of like he would step out of the way. Which is kind of similar to head movement. You want to keep your legs moving, right? You want to keep stepping.
Of course.
But
Keep your rhythm up at all times.
But yeah, I love fighting. I will talk about it all day. I'm obsessed with it. I read a lot of books. I read Jack Dempsey's Championship Fighting. I read that whole thing multiple times. I'm huge into the drop step. The drop step is really it's like in my opinion it's the laziest way to generate power. Like you're literally just falling forwards and then catching yourself and punching. So it's like it's basically the
that's
same
a
as.
weakness. That's a whole weakness also.
Well, okay, you could fall into a punch, but if you know what you're
Right.
doing, and you're moving your head, sometimes it's a good risk to take, you know.
Or you can just muscle through and just just throw your punch in.
I don't know about that one, but
Yeah, but it's a rare chance though. It's
Yeah.
rare.
it could
It's rare
happen.
that happens.
I think it's more like the punch is gonna slip off of you. That could happen. That's more
True.
likely. But if
Well,
you're
if
moving
it's
your
not, then it's a GG's.
if you're moving your head, pretty much. If you're moving your head, like if you just keep your head moving and you keep moving forward or to the side, or if you just keep moving, you really want to keep moving if you're doing what I do,
Right.
like moving forward. You're pretty safe. Like it's pretty hard for them to hit you when you're moving your head constantly like that. You ever watch a Jimmy No Ippo?
Of course.
Yeah,
Best
so
boxing anime to ever
it's
exist.
kind of funny. They call what he does the Dempsey roll, but I don't really think that's the Dempsey roll. What he does is more just like rapid head movement to try to randomly avoid punches, which does work. But
At times.
usually, I mean, I really make it work. I really do. I did when I was in the ring.
I mean, that depends if you really can read your opponent's movement with your eyes.
Yeah.
The
well,
eyes is what matters at most.
It's kind
in
of
that scenario.
for me, it's kind of a feel because you want to. I kind of know. I can kind of feel rhythm, you know. So if I feel that, because when someone throws a combo, they have like a rhythm. They're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4 or something like that, right? So
Yeah.
I know, like at what rhythm they're gonna punch because we're all trained the same way, which is kind of bad but that's a different thing. I can use that
because
predictability.
You can read, you can read them.
I can use that predictability of the martial art, which is natural to a martial art because you're being trained a certain way, to move my head at the right times. And I understand. I don't understand that they're gonna, like, they're usually what people do is they either jab you out with the same hand, but those punches aren't really. It's probably not gonna knock you out if you're looking at it. If you're not looking at it, then anything can knock you out though. But those little jabs, they suck to get hit by, but you can handle them. But the real suckers are the ones where they go left, right. Those are the ones that hit hard because they're generating all that torque, you know, with their hips, because you're going left, and then they can use the pull or the, because you're almost cocking your knees and your hips when you're throwing a punch, right, for the other arm, because if you're
Generating
boxing
more
correctly.
power for the other one,
Yeah. So if they do that, I'm sorry. Are you guys laughing at me?
Oh,
I thought one of them was laughing at me.
I'm about to say, what the hell? Okay.
If you throw like when you, I don't know how to explain it, but you understand it surely. But
Yeah,
when
I know what you
it's
mean.
good to go left, right if you want to generate power. But I can kind of know that they're going to do something like that. So I can kind of know, okay, the left is coming, the right is coming, the left is coming, the right is coming. If the left comes twice, that's no biggie, because I can, like, if I don't, I might accidentally move out of the way anyways. But if I don't, I'll still, like, I'll probably be able to eat it, you know what I mean, over my guard, especially if I have my hands up, you know. You don't want to have your hands down, that sucks, but...
At all, yeah, of course. Keep your guard up all times. If you get yourself open, then you're not doing so good.
But that's
Especially if they catch you.
obvious.
It's always obvious. That's what people don't understand nowadays. I'm like, look, if you're a fighter, keep your guards up, especially around your face.
That's really basic, though. I would hope anyone in a ring is doing that.
They
That's
should
super
know
basic.
how to do that, bro. That's the most basic.
You should
thing
not
you
be.
gotta
You
learn.
should not be sparring if you don't know to keep your hands up. That's really bad.
No,
It's really dangerous, actually.
very.
Yeah.
Eesh. Man,
Yeah.
it brings me back when I used to fucking fight like a lunatic. Holy fuck.
Yeah. It's dangerous, man. I know a
It
guy.
is.
I know one of the guys who trained me more recently, like within this year, that I was paying him to train me. He taught me, like he would spar like apparently a bunch of people in the same day, like 6 different people in the same day, and he got brain damage. So it was like that scared me. I'm like I'll stick to sparring once a week max. But yeah. He's very careful about that. I respect him a lot. He's a pro fighter. I forget it's kind of a shame, but I forget his name off the top of my head. But he
You
was
probably remembered.
yeah, he was really, really good. But yeah, he was also an infighter. He's more of a slugger though, I'd say.
Oh, he's dangerous. Huh? Okay.
Yeah, he was really, he had the, you know, he just had that grit, and he also he would take him on the forehead a lot. Like I watch his fights, he didn't mind taking punches on like the skull, which like the top of the skull where it's hard, which I suppose is fine, but it's not optimal.
Yeah.
I also do that shit because
It's risky.
yeah, my first trainer Johnny, he taught me to do that, which because he was an underground fighter, so. But I guess it's fine, but I also get, you also probably don't want to do that. Is from my experience, it also gives you a lot of headaches later, so.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, shakes you up, yeah.
But I had to go to it regardless. I had to. I had no choice.
It sucks. I feel like I wish people put more. I mean, I'm gonna have my own opinions, but I wish boxers put more emphasis on head movement, because like, your guarding is only gonna do so much. It still sucks to get hit even over your guard. It really doesn't do anything, if you ask me. I mean, it does a little bit, but it's important. Like, I definitely wouldn't tell someone not to do it. It's really important, but it's like you're still getting hit, really. You're not like doing much because your brain's still getting jostled around when you keep your guard up. I guess there's just lower instances of people getting knocked out through their guard, like way lower instances. So that's why they teach that. But I don't know. For me, it was always like when I was getting hit over my guard, it still hurts, man. It still sucks.
You sent me. Then again, you gotta muscle through that. You gotta.
Well, you have to, but that's just part of the sport. But yeah, I'd rather be a technical fighter and not be getting hit like that. But
That's
I
what
guess
you gotta avoid.
Yeah. That's why. Well, that's why I would keep my head down so low. It was like hard to see, and I know that's bad. But I would keep my head down very low. But I would move out of the way. You know, I wasn't getting hit as much that way. That's why I did that. I would keep my head really low, and I would keep moving it constantly. I would always be moving my head, and that takes your lungs out. But I was an infighter. I wanted to be in there.
I also used to keep my head down a lot. Then I realized what I was doing was wrong because I always get high kick to the jaw. I'm like, yeah, what? I don't know why I'm doing this.
Oh, kicked? Yeah. Well, that's different. Well, mixed martial arts is different because you get kneed in the mouth if you do that.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about boxing, you know.
Yeah, boxing. Let's keep it boxing.
But we can talk about mixed martial arts. I did a little bit of that. I learned Muay Thai. I learned basically I learned Muay Thai, but like very, very small stuff from it. I learned Muay Thai. I learned. I did some shin conditioning actually. I learned Savant, or Savat, not Savant. Savat. That's a really interesting kicking style. You ever heard of that? It's like French.
So not in the French category. I have not heard of that.
It's pretty insane. It was developed because people were trying to fight on boats, and they had really hard shoes. So in Savant you actually kick with your you kick with the palms of your feet, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You don't kick with like you kick with the meat of your foot. You know what I mean? Instead of the shin or the foot itself, like you would in karate or something.
If it was developed to fight on ships, so basically mastering the balance of the body.
Yes, precisely. Okay, yeah. Okay. So it's a lot about that. So one of the drills is like hanging onto a rope, and you kick a bag like that. It's mostly kicking because their hands were tied or something.
Right.
It's kind of similar to what's that art? I forget what it's called.
Hands are tied.
I forgot what it's called, sadly. There's another art like that though. It's also a kicking art. I'll tell you if I remember it. Dude, I can go off about this stuff forever, man. I love this stuff. You got it. Have you read Jack Dempsey's Championship Fighting?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I haven't.
You gotta take a look, man. It's so good. It's such a good book. The Tao of Jeet Kune Do is also pretty good.
Jeet Kune Do.
Yeah, that's good for fighting.
True.
You did Jeet Kune Do? Traditional? Or?
Well, I was fighting against one.
Oh yeah.
I didn't end up well.
I fought
Did not end up
against.
well for me.
One of my teachers and a guy I've sparred full contact against is a master taijutsu fighter, and he was super good. But he admitted himself, like most people in the art, are not that good.
Right.
Because they don't actually fight. But he like learned. He knew some kung fu. Apparently he knew crab style kung fu and mantis. And let me tell you, that shit's not fake, bro. He hit me with that shit. That shit is crazy. Like, he hit me in the shoulder blade with that, and it actually, like, kind of, it hurt, man. I could handle it, but it hurt. But yeah.
Shit like that, I don't want to mess with that.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say it's as good for striking as, like, I mean, I don't know if you can make it work, you know, but I'd say boxing
Depending
is
on
probably
how much striking power you really got behind you. So.
Well, it uses a whole different muscle group. It's very strange. It's nothing like boxing. It's nothing like boxing.
Yeah.
It's like it's kind of like he's pulling down instead of pushing. You know what I mean? Or twisting. Like boxing is a lot of twisting and pushing off with your legs to generate punching power. Kung Fu is I never learned it, but he like taught me about it really. I never understood it enough to use it, but it's more like you're pulling. It's weird. You're pulling and then you strike. You like pull your arm into the opponent. It's pretty weird. It's really weird. It's nothing like Western stuff, man.
Interesting. I need to look that up.
Yeah, you should look into it. It's crazy stuff.
It's a different type of kung fu.
Yeah, I wouldn't even, I mean, if you're on the boxing grind and kickboxing, I wouldn't even touch that stuff, man, to be honest, because it's a whole different, it's like, it won't help your boxing at all. Like, it's just gonna teach you something different. It also works, but it wouldn't work with boxing gloves on first of all, because they hit, there's a reason they hit with, like, the side of their palm, or, like, their palm itself. It's because you kind of, that's what it feels natural to do when you're using that muscle group. But yeah, I sparred with him. He used taijutsu against me. Taijutsu is a lot more like boxing. I actually use taijutsu with boxing. It's Japanese though. It's not kung fu.
I mean, that's smart.
Yeah. So I use the taijutsu leg structure. There's a leg structure where you can actually like. I mean, you could do this with boxing too, but to an even greater extent, where you can like stand still and just extend your arm without doing any like twisting or any of that stuff, and you can punch really hard. If you stand with your legs, I mean, I'm not going to do it justice, and also I'd have to show you, but if you stand with your legs kind of like in a triangle, but you can do this in a boxing stance too, just to a lesser extent. You bend it at the knee, at both knees, and you extend your back knee. And if you do that while punching and extending your arm, it generates a lot of force. It's kind of like instead of how boxing is like generating force to hit them with, it's kind of like moving the wall of structure forwards to kind of just make them hit themselves with it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I learned some kicking from that, but the kicking in taijutsu is just the same as kickboxing, to be honest. You just hit, and the only difference is in kickboxing you hit with your shin, in taijutsu and karate you hit with your feet. But you can also hit with your shin if you want. It doesn't really make a difference. But yeah, I'm a really, as you hear, I'm a huge.
You have a lot of
nerd.
knowledge in terms of martial arts. Yes.
I am not.
Me, I lost.
I
all
am
of
nobody,
that since
man.
I quit last year.
I'm standing on the shoulders of people who are
Professionals and like taught
crazy.
you the ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am nothing. I'm nothing compared to that. They could like obliterate me. It would literally be like an anime fight. They could obliterate me like instantly. It wouldn't be like an anime fight where it's drawn out. Like they would actually just kill me instantly.
Yeah, that sounds more about right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like long drawn out, but Bobby could grab me and probably break my arm whenever he wanted to. But it's cool stuff.
Talking about arm breaking, I hate jujutsu.
Dude, I
hate jujutsu.
I know a little
man.
bit of jujitsu actually. I call myself a
Yeah.
boxer, but that's just because that's like my main art.
Right.
But I know a little tiny bit of jiu-jitsu. I know how to wrestle because I did it a lot when I was small. But I don't really know how to wrestle. Like I don't know the techniques. I just know how to be tough, I guess. I know
That's
a few
understandable.
things. I know to put my arm between them and me. I don't want them like hugging me too tightly because then I'm done for.
Right.
I want to keep them off of me. I know to use my knees and my shins and my arms and my elbows and my hands to just keep them away from me. Like I don't want them doing that, especially as a striker. I want them standing first of all. But I don't know. Sometimes you don't always get the option.
True.
In a street fight, bro, I'm running. I don't give a fuck. I'm out of there. Let me out. I don't want
Because
to
there's too many people and you.
Yeah, I don't want to street fight nobody. I don't want to die, man. I mean, I sometimes I do, but not like that.
Thing, though. Whoa, hold on, bro. Hold on. So here's the thing, though. The difference between a martial artist and a street fighter. The martial artist is always bound to win at all times. It really just depends on how the street fighter
Depends
fights.
on what you mean by winning.
Oh.
I won't die. That's for sure.
yeah.
But I'm fucking out of there, bro. I think martial arts is about like, I mean, I don't know. Martial arts means something different to everyone. For me, martial arts, as a philosophy, is about. I mean, really, it's about learning how to fight. Actually, I changed my mind. Like, it's about learning how to fight and fighting. Because I feel like there's some people that are too highbrow and like, oh, martial arts is about surviving. It is, but you're learning how to fight to survive, not learning how to survive and then having fighting for fun, right?
Yeah.
But also, I fight. I'm like a sport fighter, very obviously. I like the nuances of it and the art and competing. I love competing. So, did I kill this chat, by the way?
I don't. I think they're just listening.
I was just listening.
All right, cool stuff. But yeah, I'm definitely all about the sports. I'm not too interested in self-defense. If I need to do it, I guess what I'd do is punch someone if I had to. But I'd rather just not fight on like the street at all. I'm good with that. I don't want to. I don't want to do all that. I mean, that's just not fun to me, you know? Like,
What, fighting on the street?
no, not at all. Like, I'd rather be in a boxing ring where it's controlled and.
That's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
That is fair because on the street anything is possible though. You
I
see
don't.
a rock.
Yeah.
Jeez.
It's just I don't want to die in a. Even if honestly, it's not. I'm not even really, like consciously, maybe subconsciously, but consciously, I'm not even really afraid of dying. Like, what's there to fear? But what I'm afraid of is dying in a humiliating way. I think, like they pull out a gun and blast me. Like that would suck. You know.
Like, it's you don't wanna die in like oh, he died like a bitch or some shit.
Well, it's not only that. It is that, but it's not only that. It's like, I feel guns are unfair, man. Like, just let me punch you.
Let me be honest. I'm
Like,
gonna be honest with you.
It's fair
No, go
play,
for it.
but
You
then
can-
No. Gun for me, look,
You can
I'm
humble
a
me
martial
if you
artist,
have to.
alright? I'm a martial artist, and I love that shit. Now, if you have a gun, that just means you're a pussy. You're not afraid. You're
I'm
scared
glad-
to use your hands.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, man. I agree 100%.
Yeah, just use your hands. Like
That's
if
just
you gonna
that's my
use a-
personal opinion, though.
Yeah, same. Like, why are you going to talk about can beat your ass when you're going to use a gun?
It's like point and
to
click,
show-
bro. Like, let's just hop on Minecraft for that. No, I mean?
Yeah, honestly,
Shit out
just
each
go
other.
ahead.
Fight back. Fight
Yeah,
back.
destroy your Goku statue. Just fucking go crazy.
Yeah, that's
Just do it.
yeah. I feel like guns are unfair, man.
Very unfair.
Yeah. And they don't. I don't know. It's just whoever pulls it on you first, because they just pull the trigger, you know. And that's
Black
it.
people.
I don't know about that, but
I didn't-
statistically
I
true,
know.
maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I was not expecting that. I will say that.
Yeah, but but guns, hell no, absolutely. No, it's totally unfair.
just kinda
it shows
lame,
no
yeah.
loyalty at all. Like your body alone should be your own weapon. Like,
Yeah.
you can learn how to defend yourself.
Even
you're a
even
fighter.
blades. Like, I respect blades to an extent, but like
somewhat.
but like a gun is
Yeah, a
just
gun
lame,
is just
man.
hell no.
Yeah.
Hell no. Due to time, I'm hoping that this goddamn world that we live in, they improve in terms of like fighting shit. Like
We can only try.
weapons, like swords. Okay, swords.
Yeah.
Yeah, guns. Hell no. So
Swords are fucking sick.
Swords are.
course.
I mean, swords. I feel like swords they take skill to use though.
Yes, of course. They take hella
'cause
skill.
you need to know how to use one.
You know how to use the sword to become with the
It's like,
sword.
it's
you
like
know
it's
that.
like no, because in a 1400s Japan, it was looked down upon if you were a crossbow person, because like you got this person who's trained
Yeah.
for years
Yeah.
with a sword, and
Imagine
then you got
guns.
some
That's how I feel
idiot
about
with
guns. Yep.
It's like you have like some idiot with a fucking crossbow who's trained for like a couple of months,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
destroying somebody.
I think guns, like, don't get me wrong, I think guns take a skill. They're a skill that you can practice, but I
Yeah.
feel like they're less skilled than like a sword fight or a
Well,
hand to
because you
hand
need
fight.
to know how to use that. A sword is an
Yeah.
extension of your body.
Yeah, pretty much. It's just a weapon. It's just a blade. A gun. I don't even know if I can call a gun a weapon. It feels uncomfortable because
It's,
It's
a
like-
projectile
launcher.
It's a
so-
projectile, honestly.
it's
really
so
is.
powerful.
Literally, you're just throwing a rock at them at a very fast.
It's just
People can
so
consider that as a
powerful.
weapon, but for me, it's just a projectile. Like
Yeah.
it's something that you pick up and just blast. That's it.
It's literally just a faster way of throwing a rock at somebody.
Yeah, pretty much. A key blast, specifically speaking, honestly.
It's basically
Except
a key blast.
That,
yeah.
that ain't energy, bro. That
Yeah.
is
That
is-
ain't
is
energy,
lead.
that's metal.
Material that you
Lead.
pick up.
That will kill you instantly.
Yeah.
Oh, like,
Don't get me started on a bird shot.
oh no.
Yeah. Even a crossbow, like, I mean, I feel similarly about crossbows, but even a crossbow,
Crossbows. I
even a
feel
crossbow takes
like-
more skill. It's harder to aim a crossbow. You know what I mean?
Well,
and
I
it's
mean,
hard
if
to
you have a
load
si-
it too.
If you have a sight on, there's the Da Vinci crossbow, which takes like 0 effort anyway. So it's like,
Oh.
yeah.
Well, who the fuck has a Da Vinci crossbow? White
Well,
people.
there's compound crossbows, so there's that.
Yeah.
Don't get a
Dude,
flirty.
by the way, speaking of combat, this game's combat like is so good. This mod's
Actually,
combat.
I actually do like this
What
mod. It's
game?
not bad.
What?
Dawncraft. I'm playing on the
Yeah.
server.
Playing the Minecraft mod.
You gotta try
Of
this
course.
shit, man.
It's pretty good.
Man, I don't want to buy Minecraft on PC again, man.
Wait, if you bought a version of it, you should already have it.
Too bad that shit doesn't exist for some stupid reason.
Oh, your account doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That sucks.
No, like my account does exist, but it's not confirming that I bought the game, so it's like making me rebuy the
Bro,
shit.
what?
I'm not doing it.
Contact support or something.
I
Yeah.
did 2 years ago.
Contact them again.
Man, I'm gonna just find it one day.
Look at,
Now I
look
see
in
why you
gallery.
kinda- now I see why you
Look in
kinda
gallery for
scoffed at-
pictures.
Now I see
Yeah.
why you kind of scoffed at me keeping my head low, because you can't really do that in other martial arts. You can
Yeah.
only really do that in boxing.
Unless you're asking for a death wish, GG's. you know,
Yeah.
so-
I keep my head low in boxing because they can't knee me. It's illegal.
For me, I used when I was doing boxing. The only reason why I'll keep my head down is if somebody's coming like for a Joe hook. That's the only reason why I'll go down.
I just do it
And
because
then
it's
just-
easier. It's easier to keep my head moving that way for me. Like,
True.
it's just easier, and it's also easier to dodge punches for me because they're trying to. I kind of know where they're trying to. It like messes them up on the center line, right? You know what I mean by
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. Ah.
Also, a little tidbit: the bigger the weapon, the harder it is to use. The more skill you need.
Yeah.
True.
That's why I want to use
You,
like a Sun Wukong staff, like weighs
with
20
like a-
pounds or something.
With like a pistol, you just point and shoot. With a sniper rifle, that you need some space.
I just
between.
realized something. If there was to ever to be a human being in this world that is big as hell, a big man, like strong, he have muscle on him. Usually they're supposed to be slow, but what if he's just fast as hell? Like
There's
a
plenty of people
two-
like that. Look at Mike
That
Tyson,
is
bro.
horrifying, is what that is.
Bro, big people aren't necessarily slow. It's
Yeah,
just that
they're
they
not too
usually,
slow.
yeah, they can be slow, but some of them
Like-
can be really fast if they train to be.
Like you see a big ass dude just charge.
Yeah,
that
if
shit
they
and
train their
close the
striking
distance.
speed and the way to move their body, like to increase their speed,
It's about how you
it's
move.
so
Man. It's all about how you move.
Mm.
Speed
Yeah.
is only half of it. It's only half of
the
it.
power is what's behind that type of speed. You know what I'm
True.
saying?
Yeah. True. It's muscle.
Yep.
I
that's what
don't.
hurts.
I see people also. I see people. I'm nodding my finger no right now. I see people denounce like bodybuilders and fighting. Like, you don't want to have a bodybuilding necessarily, but like a bodybuilder versus a normal guy, like a bodybuilder will mess a normal guy up. You know what I mean?
True.
People
Absolutely.
forget that, and I see people like say, "Oh, they're so big they'll get tired up fast," which is true. But if you don't know how to fight and you don't know what you're doing, they will just outmuscle you.
And plus,
So-
some of those bodybuilders can be smart and
Yeah,
like
true.
control their
Yeah.
conserve their stamina. I'm like, okay.
I wouldn't
know what
want
I'm
to.
doing
I wouldn't
here.
want to grapple with a bodybuilder. That's for sure.
Nope.
And also, I believe that breathing is very important. The way you breathe
Yes.
and release power,
Yes.
it's very important.
I breathe out when I
You know?
punch.
Yeah.
For many reasons. I also don't want to
There's
get.
a certain type of way you can control your breathing on your body when you're trying to punch and release power, so you can like
Yeah.
do more damage.
I've noticed that too.
It's very important.
I also don't want to. Another reason I breathe out when I punch is because I don't want to get countered in the gut and get the wind knocked
Right.
down on me.
Yeah.
But that, and then also, I do feel like it makes my punches more powerful. I agree.
True.
Yeah, but that might just be placebo. Who knows?
True.
Placebo
again-
still works.
True, it does work. Yeah, you're right.
For a certain extent.
For instance, those fucking sugar pills that the doctors give you, they work.
They work. They do. Yeah.
If you believe they work, they fucking work.
I hope that's what my ADHD medication is, not Adderall.
Uh,
But I'm not even taking that shit right now. I should be actually, because it keeps me productive. But I haven't needed it in a while, so.
I don't have anything, not that I know of anyway.
Yeah, I'm medically diagnosed with ADHD or ADD specifically.
Like, I know there's something wrong because I can't pay the fuck attention, but
Yeah, well that's the
It
first
ain't
symptom.
diagnosed.
Yeah. You can't pay attention. That'll do it.
like, hopefully at the most it's just ADD or nothing else.
Huh?
I'm gonna need myself a
Well,
psyche,
ADD is just as bad, man. Because
though. It's a form of ADHD.
for me, my ADD sucks, man. Because I wasn't. They didn't believe. They basically didn't. My school basically didn't believe in mental illness. So they just thought that which I consider ADHD to be. They just thought like I was bluffing, basically.
My school only does it probably for the money.
Oh yeah, but that's fine as long as it gets done, you know.
I mean, yeah. It ain't the best way though. It's still happening though.
I agree with
So at least there's that.
I gotta get some obsidian for my enchantment table.
Help me. The fuck?
What, William? You need
I
help?
sum- I summoned the Goblin King.
Goblin King.
He's
I
ass.
summoned the Goblin.
He's ass. He just
is.
runs away like a pussy.
Talking
He
about
is
martial arts, I
Me
kind
and
of
Caleb
go
and
back.
ass Jack jumped his ass.
I feel like I should go back into martial arts again. I really feel like it's where I belong.
Uh-oh.
I'm not much of a martial artist. I'm more of a.
I've
more
been
of a
there for the
sharpshooter.
reason why I even started doing martial arts for 6 years is because of my anger. I had anger issues. Every time I shit you not, when people punch me, I'm like, okay, this shit feel good. So let me punch you back.
Well, I have
Even
a lot.
harder though.
I have a lot of
That,
I have a lot of
yeah,
pain.
man.
Like, sorry, did I interrupt you? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No,
Okay.
no, you didn't.
I have a lot of pain from growing up. My parents got divorced. My mom and dad would fight a lot. My dad would drink. And for me, I think it was similar where I probably had some anger, but I was suppressing it. And I was passive about it, passive aggressive. And I think boxing allowed me to kind of get that out and be less of a toxic individual.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Whole backstory, man. Holy shit.
I'm a goddamn amalgamation of suppressed memory.
For me, my parents used to treat me like garbage, so like a slave, specifically speaking, a slave. They prioritized my sister more than me, even though I was the oldest in the family. They really didn't do anything for me. I had to kind of carry myself out, like make myself grow. I did not know how to read in 6th grade, so I don't know how I passed 5th grade. But yeah, that happened. My friends to me were more like family. They treated me like family more than my fucking parents. I hate those motherfuckers. That's the only reason why I became a martial artist, because of anger issues. The anger grew up from like not being loved by my own parents. And as I fought, I started getting softer. It kind of just happened. I
Yeah.
don't know why.
well,
But-
those always make the strongest fighters because you can channel that into skill, you know, into
Makes sense.
practicing. So
Yep, and that's how I became who I am today. And I'm just normal now.
Yep.
Calm.
I'm very
weird.
lucky. My parents, I got taught how to read. I got taught math, so I'm very blessed when it comes to that, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like I really don't belong in this world. I don't know if that's crazy
No,
to
I
say, but
feel,
it
you
really
know what?
does feel like
Sometimes
that.
I feel exactly the same way. It's
Because it's like, I can see it, but at the same time, all my surroundings like, yo, this doesn't feel right for me. Like, what the fuck
I feel the
is this?
same way a lot of times. I feel like my dad wasn't supposed to meet my mother, and I feel like I wasn't
That's what
supposed to
I'm
be born
saying.
sometimes. Yeah, and I feel like when I'm like moving, when I'm like doing things and moving around, I feel like I'm messing things up here. You know what I mean? Like I should
Yeah.
not be. This doesn't feel like it should be happening. I've always been very unusual too, so personality-wise.
I was one of those gifted children in like fucking second grade.
I was considered gifted because of my creativity, but
And
I
I'm not-
wasn't very good at school.
I was not creative at all.
Mm.
I was a goddamn robot.
Also, did the server just go down, or is it just me?
I think so. I think so. It just went down.
Okay.
A robot in what
Oh,
way?
by the way,